Once you're done cataloging that real-life hero, Craig Kielburger, what I'm going to have you do next is pull out that blue bookmark. Yesterday, you folks looked at Activity 115, and you also completed it. Now, Activity 115 had you examining transitional strategies and applying them, and you also got a first glance at what an embedded quote was. So how was understanding transitional strategies, their use in coherence, and embedded quotes preparing you to write your definition essay of what makes a hero? Go ahead and answer that. When you're done, flip that bookmark over. Let's see. Now, the back of your blue bookmark, when you're ready for it, Activity 115 has you practice 3 out of the 9 concepts that your definition essay is going to be graded on. So you can either look at the class bookmark at the side of the room or just listen while I kind of guide you through it. So Activity 115, it helps you practice Concept 3, where you're looking at developing supporting details and evidence. It has you practice Concept 6, where you're creating coherence through the use of transitions. And lastly, 115 has you practice the 9th concept, where you're working with your grammar, your conventions. And once you've got that done, you can go ahead and put that piece away. And what I'm going to have you do is open up your Springboard to page 77. Keep that text open for yourself. And we're going to get you ready for game time. All right? So the first game that we're going to be playing is going to be dealing with Kahoot. You are going to be using Kahoot. So ladies and gents, if you've got your phone on you, you can go ahead, pull that phone out, start turning it on, getting it prepared. Now, just like last time with Kahoot, if you need to work with a partner or with a small group because you don't have your own device, that's 100% fine. Remember, with your partner or with your small group, you've got to make sure that you use your initials, both first and last, for your name, instead of just writing a nickname. I'll be giving you the Kahoot PIN code or PIN number in just a moment, but once you've got your phone ready to go, remember with your browser you want to go to kahoot.it. Again, on your browser it's going to be kahoot.it. All right, folks, I'll give you some time to kind of log in there and move yourself around so you can find your partner. All right, ladies and gents, I'm going to give you 1 minute to log in, get your nicknames going. So here is your PIN number today. It is 313631. Go ahead and log in, partner up with someone that has a device. We've got about 30 seconds to log in here. Is anyone still logging in, or are you folks all in? All right, keep going, you got some time. Oh yeah, are we just looking for your initials? There you are. All right, folks, let's go ahead and start. There are 5 questions. I asked you to have your Springboard open because you might want to refer to it. All right, let's go ahead and start with our first of the 5. Number 1, what does TLQC stand for? Is it red, thesis, language, question, connotation? Yellow, topic, sentence, spelling, quotation, connotation? Blue, transition, leading, quote, citation? Green, transition, language, question, connotation? Very good, folks. We selected correctly. TLQC, folks, it's your formula for making an embedded quote. Let's go ahead and move on to our second. The formula of an embedded quote includes how many components? Is it red, 4, blue, 5, 2, yellow, 3, green? Come on now. Don't fail me, kiddos. Look, 4. T, transition. L, leading. Q, quotation. C, citation. All right. Number 3, which of the following is an example of a transition? Is it red, Homer, page 33? Yellow, Odysseus cared for his men, from Homer, page 33. Blue, it's easy to see what makes a true hero. Green, to illustrate the importance of heroism. Don't worry, you've got time to answer, too. All right, folks, green is your transition. Remember that transition to illustrate, we use that for a supporting detail. So you want to make sure that you have something in there before you provide your quote. All right, question 4. What is the embedded quote missing? He's dead, but the cause survives his fall. By Grade 68. Is it red, transition lead-in? Yellow, lead-in explanation? Blue, lead-in? Green, punctuation? What happened? Okay, not too bad. So what's actually in this embedded quote? What was provided? What did we have? Jackie?
Quote and citation.
Good. This was the quote and the citation, but it was missing all the other components. All right. 5th and final question. Name the slanted text of this quote. To illustrate courage, the men does everything with. Is that the transition and leading, the quote, or the citation? I like the sad faces. I'm sure wrong. I didn't mean to. I thought the slanted text was the transition and lead-in. Ladies and gents, go ahead and open up your Springboard to page 78. And page 78 is going to take you to activity 116. It's a new activity, so you folks know quickly diffuse those learning targets. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time here, just a short quiz, just to make sure that you folks remember what a negation strategy is. So activity 116 is having you practice 2 things. First, examining examples of a negation strategy, and second, applying negation strategy to your own paragraph writing. All right? Now, the before reading section and step number 2 are the only things we're actually looking at today. We're not going to look at anything further from that. So first, I'm going to ask for someone to go ahead and read step 1 and the chunk of text that falls right below. Go for it, Taylor.
Before we review the negation definition strategy. Paragraphs using the negation strategy explain what something is by showing what it's not. Pointing out what the subject is not can make it what it is clear to the reader. For example, here's an excerpt from a definition of a horse that uses the negation strategy.
Awesome. Very quickly, I want you to go ahead and highlight definition of a horse. This is the topic that's being defined, so we're going to get an idea of how someone defines what a horse is by telling us what it is not. Alright, can someone go ahead and read that definition of a horse that was provided? Thanks, Christian, go for it. Yeah, you got it.
A horse, a zebra, and a mule. Though alike in many ways, have significant differences. A horse, unlike a zebra, can be shaped and trained, and unlike a mule, which is a sterile beast of burden, a horse is a valued breeder of future generations of racing champions and a hard-working ranch animal.
Okay, take a moment. Identify what two negation strategies you think there were in this piece. Right. Which would be one of the negation strategies used to define a horse? What do you think, June?
When it says unlike a zebra?
Nice, unlike a zebra, so hopefully you went ahead and highlighted that. And a secondary one, Megan?
Unlike a mule.
Nice, unlike a mule. Alright, now something I might consider in your mindset, maybe you want to use the term unlike when you're getting ready to write your negation strategy. So maybe instead of saying a hero does not, a hero will not, maybe you're going to use a hero is unlike to go ahead and utilize a negation strategy. Alright, now step 2 is going to be our next little target area here. So could you please read step 2 for us, Victoria?
Active definition by negation. List some actions or accomplishments that do not fit your definition of a hero, though they may seem to at first glance.
Alright folks, I'm going to give you 1 minute and 30 seconds. I want you to brainstorm with your family how many negation strategies can you come up with to define what a hero is not. Ready? Go.
Not hero.
He's not alive.
They can be late.
Alright folks, I'm going to grab your attention again. It's now time for you to go ahead and pull out your raw notebook. We're going to get our entry set up for today. You may or may not be referring to your springboard for this paragraph. That's going to be up to you if you need it or not. Could you do me a favor, Grant, and could you minimize that box that just popped up on the screen? Thanks. Alright, so this is activity or raw entry 17, and we're titling this Hero EA2 paragraph 2. So this is the second body paragraph that you are making for your definition essay of what makes a hero. Once you've written down this table of content entry, the next thing you're probably going to want to do is go ahead and pull those yellow handouts that I left at your family table, and just like last time, there's one per shoulder partner. So you would go ahead and set that handout in between the two of you. My one family group right up front, I didn't give you a set just because we were right next to the screen, so all you got to do is turn your head. Alright, now this entry is going to take you a little bit more time than your very first body paragraph, and that's because this time your brain has to think opposite. You're going to be writing your paragraph based on the negation strategy, so you have to explain what does not define a hero. And not only that, you're going to have to create embedded quotes to explain your reasoning. So this one, it's probably going to take you double the time your first one did, just because your brain's thinking opposite and you're having to develop those embedded quotes. All right, now the length is exactly the same. I'm looking for a minimum of 8 sentences. This time, I want you to skip lines. Unlike the first body paragraph, this one I do want you to skip lines on because people are going to be looking at your work for the negation paragraph. Now for those of you that have the handout, if you flip it to the opposite side, you're going to see something like this. This is a reminder of where you can find your resources of how to make an embedded quote. Not only that, but I've provided you 2 more embedded quotes, 2 more examples. That way you've got them. All right? So the rest of the time is for you to go ahead and write your negation paragraph. I'm going to ask that you folks aren't carrying on a major conversation. If you're just asking the person next to you, hey, does this idea work? Not a problem. I just don't want you to have full-blown conversations. All right? If you got questions, put your hand up. I'd be more than happy to help you guys out. So from here on out, it's time for the vote. Go ahead.